So I had a friend inbox me recently, and he asked me, he was like, you've been through hell, Mike. How do you stay motivated? How do you keep yourself going when it seems like nobody's really feeling you? When nobody's on your side, they don't see your vision. How you keep it moving? And at first, I gave him this arrogant Marine Corps way of thinking. I told him this quote that we always say. I was like, as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil because I'm the baddest motherfucker in the valley. And that's something I picked up when I was in the military. But the reality is, and this is not about attaining wealth. This is about attaining peace. The way I keep my peace is, one, I pray. I definitely believe that peace is in God's hands. But the other thing, in a more down-to-earth way of looking at it, is being the thermostat and not the thermometer. Okay, a thermometer changes depending on the environment around it. So if it's hot, it goes up. If it's cool, it goes down. And I choose to be the one controlling that atmosphere. All right, when I walk into a room or when I'm facing my problems, I choose to make it my personal mission to control it with my attitude. Now, you can call it fake it till you make it. You can call it all kinds of, jumbo stuff. But for me, I think the most important part about approaching any situation really is with your attitude. And so being a thermostat is controlling the environment, making people bend, making situations bend because of how you view it and how you choose to attack it. And a lot of how I think does come from the Marine Corps. And so for the people who care enough to watch this, I'm going to save you 3 months of boot camp and tell you exactly what the Marine Corps does to turn average guys with average fears and average mentalities into people with apex mentalities, the ones that care about what they put their name on, and they do it to the best of their ability all the time. So the first thing is, when you go to boot camp, you're not allowed to talk in normal conversational tone. You got to yell everything. You scream, it's got to be quick, it's got to be precise. Everything you say has to sound like that, or a drill instructor will get in that ass. The second thing is, you're not allowed to walk anywhere. You're either running or you're marching. Most of the time you're running, and if you're by yourself or in a platoon or a group of people, you're walking. Tall, proud, and in synchrony with other Marines. And the third thing is, and I think this is probably the most important thing, they take everything that you could possibly be afraid of. If you're afraid of heights, you're going to get on high things. If you're afraid of violence, you're going to be exposed to violence. If you've never been in a fight before, I guarantee you, if you're one of the alphas that go through basic training and you care about being the best recruit there, you're going to clash heads and opinions with another recruit there, and you are going to get into a fist fight, almost guaranteed. And if not, obviously there's McMap training and all these other things that they do to get you prepared mentally for a fight. And so after you fought when you were afraid to fight, and you climbed a ladder that was 30 feet in the air, but you were afraid of heights, and you get in the water when you couldn't swim and you survive, you start getting addicted to finding other things that you're afraid of and trying to conquer them. You get addicted to conquering things. And so when a recruit comes out of basic training, he's not dangerous because he's the best fighter in the world, because he has fundamental self-defense skills after basic training. And he's not the best walking around because he's this super experienced, super trained Marine, because he hasn't done any operations yet. He hasn't been to Iraq, Afghanistan, or anywhere yet. It's all attitude when he comes out of boot camp. You could look at a recruit fresh out of boot camp, a brand new Marine, and know that he just graduated, because he walks into a room like he's ready to take over. You know what I mean? Imagine how much you can get done if you always spoke like you had something to say, if you always walked like you had somewhere to be, and if you performed and attacked tasks like it was impossible to fail. If you knew that there was no way you could lose, what would you do different? And having that on the inside and really keeping a hold of it has served me so much as far as keeping my peace, because now I don't feel like I have something to prove to other people. I don't feel a need to, fluff myself up into something I'm not. I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of because of those experiences that I had in the Marine Corps. I know a lot of the guys that walk around and I'll say guys and girls that walk around with a lot of fluffery haven't really been tested, and that's a fact. So because of my experiences in the Marine Corps and in life, I've had the self-education of knowing who I am and what I do when times get hard. Now, I am human, and I have had some very, very hard times, and been down on my luck and gained weight and all of these things. In the last 11 weeks, I've lost 22 pounds because I finally got it back in gear, working out and eating right. Not because I want to be sexy and not because I want to be a bodybuilder. It's because I want to have a life that I deserve. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be young for as long as possible. I deserve to be able to play outside with my kids the full duration of the time that they want to play. And so because now I love myself enough to feel like I deserve more, I choose to give myself more. And one of the ways I give to myself is through exercise, because I deserve it. So for anybody who is either doubting themselves, or better yet, for the person who knows who they are, but are waiting for permission from people around them to be great, stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for somebody to tell you that you're the shit and it's time for you to start doing what you got to do. You got to know that for yourself. A sad truth about the people around you is they don't really want you to be bad. They don't want you to do bad in your life. They just don't want you to do better than them. And you'll see how the support starts to taper off as you get closer to where they are, and then as you start to surpass them. People love to listen to you say you're struggling here and you're getting somewhere. But when you say, I got to that place and now I've, reached a new precipice, they stop following you. They stop liking your pictures. They stop calling to see how you're doing and asking if you want to go out, because they're no longer the person that can give you advice. So I guess I said all of that to say, I probably ranted a little bit, but I said all of that to say, make sure your circle is solid. Make sure your circle is full of people who either have what you're working for or are working for what you're working for. That way you can compare notes and self-assess and have that sense of competition, because you are who you hang around. And if you don't have that kind of circle, get it on the inside. Put on your earphones, listen to the greats, you know what I mean? The Tony Robbinses and the Gary V's and, Jack Welch, listen to the guys who are doing it all the time. One last analogy, if you take a glass of water and it's half filled with dirt, and you put one drop of water in that glass, the dirt doesn't go away. It's still in there. If you put 10 drops of water, the dirt doesn't go away. But if you take a gallon of water and you slowly start to pour, the dirt is going to start to swirl around. And when it's swirling around in real life, what that is you having to face your demons, face the things that make you afraid, face the things that make you jealous or envious of other people, the things that show you to be weak. You have to face those things and get rid of them. And you get rid of them by pouring more water. The water is the positivity, the books you read, the programs you watch, the time that you spend with God or whoever you worship. Keep pouring the water, and eventually the dirt is going to start swirling out. All right? So hopefully this has helped somebody. I had it on my heart to share it. And like I said, I hope this is reaching the right ears. Mike Diamond, I'll talk to you on the next one.